Everyone, welcome to the Skutch Media Podcast. I think that's what we're calling it.
It's very catchy.
I mean, it says what it is, right?
Yeah, it's very in your face.
It's very in your face. So basically, yeah, this podcast is about bringing information on marketing to small businesses, particularly in the Atlanta area, as we are a small business in Atlanta ourselves. So we're using this podcast to bring you information on the things that you guys are wanting to know, the questions that you're asking about marketing today in 2025 and how that's different. And I'm excited about today because today I'm joined by Nick Tapp, who is the founder of Taptico Solutions.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm doing this for free. So expect a download spike of maybe 12 to 13.
It's a lot.
You know?
It's a lot these days.
What a windfall.
You're welcome.
It's a lot these days. And actually, that's one of the things we're going to get into. But before we dive in, because there's a number of things we want to talk about, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So born and raised in Atlanta, north side. Some people, might say that's the suburbs, but I've been in the marketing, media, PR, brand game for close to 25 years at this point. Cut my teeth with Cox Media over at 95.5 The Beat, for those that represent and remember RIP. But then from there I launched 97.1 The River with Dave Clapper, who is a partner in this current business, which is awesome. He and I launched 97.1 The River. Then I got pulled over to 99X, which was my favorite station in the world growing up. Yeah. So I took that chance and took that opportunity. Did that for a while. Got tired of paying some of my bills because radio is fun, so that means it doesn't pay anything. And got into sales, did some startups, started my own company a couple times. And then fast forward, it's hard to encapsulate 20 plus years, but my most recent marketing duties were I was working with Gusto Fresh Bowls and Wraps, which
Love Gusto. Big
phenomenal.
Big fan of the lemon cookie.
Yeah. Oh, me too. Lemon butter cookie. Woo.
Oh, so good.
Yeah. So helping them really, that was like, they approached me in 2019 to come on, and I started as a consultant because they weren't sure they needed a full-time marketing person yet. Worked there for about 6 weeks out of a 3-month contract. And they were like, we want you full-time. Mm-hmm. So did that for close to 5 years, grew them from basically 3 locations up to 12, I believe is what we finished with. Stepped away from that. It was fantastic. The team is amazing there, but I wanted to do my own deal, figure out what it was. And AI I was the director of marketing. I started working with the founder, Nate, and basically he and I were working on all the marketing stuff. He and I, just together. But then we built out the team, and it becomes management of the team, and it becomes the meetings, and then all of a sudden you're in meetings and doing the admin work and not actually having enough time or bandwidth or energy to actually execute on stuff. And when I saw AI coming in, I was instructing my team, you guys need to learn this as much as possible.
Yeah.
We didn't have time. They were just busy with our day jobs.
Right.
So stepped away from Gusto, all amicable is great, but really focused in on AI, learning AI because I knew I would need to not only protect myself, but also because I'm kind of a tech nerd.
Yeah.
So new technology.
So you wanted to get into it.
Yeah.
You're like, I want to learn about this.
Yeah. I mean, I was finding myself like going on and trying to learn tools, but not knowing how I could implement them because incorporating a new tool into an existing company is so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, so I was learning them just kind of like for myself.
Right.
So the more I learned, the more I was like, this has a big future. And then, they say, if you want to start a successful business, solve your own problems.
Yeah.
And I was like, I would hire someone that knew how to do this for marketing to come in and be the change agent, as it were, to come in and kind of see how we could use it, what tools we needed specifically for our use case, in restaurant in that case.
Mm-hmm.
and then implement it and build it out, build out the architecture, and then train the team, and this is how
Yeah.
you're going to use it, and then keep them updated. New tools come out every week, and I'm not joking.
Yeah. It
So
it definitely seems like that for sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it
Seems like more than that actually.
it is.
Yeah.
It is. So so yeah, I started doing this. We obviously help small businesses that need marketing. We help them execute on that. So we're kind of an AI enhanced marketing team that if one of our prospects right now that we're on the proposal stage with, they have, over 20 locations and retail stores, and they don't really have a marketing team. So a lot of the founder-led companies, the founder retains that because it's their baby, and I totally get it. But they would need people to come in and, execute on the marketing, not just the strategy, help bring their vision to life and their
Yeah.
goals to life,
Yeah.
but figure out the most precise, efficient way to execute the marketing. So myself, David Clapper, and Tribble Reese, the three of us are kind of a marketing department for hire, for lack of a better term. So, but we all bring it, we have an MBA between us. Tribble's got the MBA.
You share it.
Yeah,
You share-
absolutely. And I've got the AI, but
Who
we
has
all
it
have,
today?
right now I do because
Okay,
I'm
good.
on camera and
Okay,
with a
good.
microphone on my face.
Good.
So yeah, we all have our different, Dave started a company called Scamper Van that won Startup of the Year a few years ago.
Yeah.
He exited from that, and the opportunity for us to work together came up, and I was like, absolutely. And he was like, absolutely. And then Tribble and I didn't really know each other, but I've been a fan of his. He went through he's been on a few reality shows. He's very charismatic, very enigmatic. And one of my major criteria for hiring or bringing people in is, do I want to talk to this person every day?
Yeah.
Right. If the guy's a jackass
Yeah.
or rude or not fun,
Yeah.
we're not going to work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
hire your weakness, but also hire someone that you want to work with every day. So,
Personality over skills any day.
100%.
You can
'cause
train
you
skills.
can train skills.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
You can't train experience either. So
No, it's true.
all these people that back, when social media first came out, they were saying, hey, yeah, my nephew, my niece can do that. They'll do it. They have no idea about the intentionality that is needed for strategic things.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the same thing with AI. You're going to start seeing a bunch of people saying, yeah, well, my nephew knows how to use AI. He's a computer guy.
Right.
But they don't have the experience and the perspective to really put it to good use.
Right.
So that's,
exactly.
That's the niche. That's the
Exactly.
hole we're trying to fill.
They know how to prompt AI to make a video that shows, a bunch of puppies playing ping pong or something, but they don't.
But
How
they
does that translate to an actual business?
Right. Is that
Right.
going to help sell puppies? Right.
Right.
So
Exactly.
yeah.
No. Yeah. All right. Well, congratulations on Taptico.
Thank you.
One of the things I do want to talk about today, we're going to get into a few different things, but first off is search and the current kind of state of search right now. Today in 2025, as AI search becomes more and more of the norm, right? We're seeing clients, my traffic is down, and it's not just like small local businesses that are seeing that. You'll see on, every day there's an article about how major publications, their traffic is down too, like by 50%.
Yeah.
And so like what actually is going on?
So, hot take. Traffic is a vanity metric.
I love it.
The metric you should be paying attention to is conversions, right? Because traffic is tire kickers. Traffic is, I accidentally, put the wrong URL in.
Traffic is not human a lot.
Right. Bots and web crawlers and all that stuff. So the change that's going to happen is, tracking conversions is important. But with AI, if you know about Perplexity, you know about Google Gemini, you've seen Google, we've been doing this for a while. Wherever you show up on the Google, the search engine result pages, it doesn't really matter. What is going to matter more, and obviously there's we're on kind of a spectrum, right? So we're early right now. We're the early adopters, and then we're going to go to mass and all that stuff. But as those things start to evolve, what's going to matter is not not really impressing for clicks, but it is clarifying for AI to understand what you do.
It's gone from will they click to will AI cite it,
And
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And understand what we do. So top of my head, like if, I'm a plumber in Atlanta, I say, what's a good term?
For a plumber.
Well, yeah, like, so, plumbers in Atlanta near me,
Hmm.
right? As opposed to a plumber putting out a blog post saying, here's how to unclog a drain. Here's how an Atlanta plumber unclogs drains.
Right.
So it's that kind of thing where the schema or whatever on the back end really dumbs it down as much as possible to the very grain of exactly what you do and clarify exactly what it is so that AI can find it and then bring that into the search engines
Right.
and the search results.
Right.
So as we're all consumers of media and we're all consumers of the internet, when we do our searches, I know myself for sure is I just read kind of the AI recap,
Mhm.
and I whatever comes there, I don't scroll through the search results.
Not anymore.
Right.
Right.
So and then that's on Google, right? Perplexity, Grok, ChatGPT, Gemini, all these different search tools are going to become the Google of the future.
Yeah.
Right. So, and a lot of it's going to be voice. Hey Siri, how do I get my plumbing unclogged?
Right.
This is how you can do it. Do you want to find some local plumbers?
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
So, planning for that is really more about clarifying exactly and being very literal, so that the AI can understand and provide the best results to the people that are asking.
Right.
Right.
Right. It's similar to sort of traditional SEO principles,
Right.
right? If you
Yeah.
think about, when, kind of traditional SEO, right? It's working the proper keywords into
Right.
your content and thinking about exactly how people are typing them into a search engine and working them in
Yeah.
that way, right? So AI, and correct me if I'm saying anything if I'm saying anything wrong here, but AI search is kind of similar, but to me, in my opinion, it almost seems like it's traditional SEO, almost like on crack,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
It's got to be even more structured,
Yeah.
more the things that matter, right? The structure, the speed, right? The performance of how things are loaded, that things are tagged properly, that you're using the proper, H2 and H3
Right.
text,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So it changes, I think, how a lot of business owners and creators need to think about how their content is structured when they put it out.
Yeah.
And sort of the days of you can write a blog post on your website and stuff it full of all the keywords you want to stuff it full of, but if it's just a bunch of words on a page,
Right. Yeah.
like it's just gonna be lost out there. There's nothing.
Yeah.
It's just fluff, right?
One of the main things with AI is also you have to make sure that everything is unified.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
all the same information across all the platforms, because AI will pull from all of them.
Right.
And when I say all of them, I mean your Instagram, if you have a Reddit page for your business, your blogs,
Yep.
newsletters, all of that stuff is going to be searchable. So you better be saying the same thing, right?
We call it a semantic content web.
Okay. Semantic content.
That's what we call it with our clients, right?
Yeah.
So that everything, your content is structured properly cross-platform,
Right,
and that's what's going to win in the
Yeah.
AI search world.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
things like that matter. Things like being cited by major publications,
Yeah.
are still very important,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
Like PR mentioned, those types of being quoted, right, in places, those are still very important for
The credibility and all that,
exactly
yeah.
in the AI search world.
For
So
sure.
yeah. Yeah. Nick,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
want to go back to what we were talking about traffic being down and businesses being scared about that. You talked about conversions and, traffic being a vanity metric, which I love. It's about conversions. Where do you think brand awareness plays in there as well? Like, how important is brand awareness now with this sort of traffic situation?
Brand awareness is the crux of all of it. Trust is a very big thing. If people don't know about your brand, what do you have?
Right.
Um, a step further for me is brand affinity, right? So as a marketing person, I always say that my job as a marketing person is to establish a trust-built relationship with anyone that might need to purchase my product or service.
Yeah.
And that is a catch-all for a million different things that
Right.
come off of that.
Right.
But brand awareness, yeah, if they can't find you, if they don't know about you, they're not going to buy from you. So brand awareness splinters out. I know you got some good thoughts on this too. Brand awareness is going to have to splinter out across the digital ecosphere, if that's the right word. But so brand awareness will always be king, obviously, to me.
Yeah.
And just the way that you become brand, or your target clients or customers become brand aware, is the marketing and the branding that you do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's one of the things that we talk about a lot and that we really love about what we do and what we can offer from Skutch is video podcasting is a very powerful tool for both brand awareness and AI searchability.
Right.
If it's done right.
Right. Yeah. So there's a term that we're going to start hearing a lot. It's called zero click. Let me get it right because it's so fresh off the presses. Zero click searches.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So think about it, and I kind of talked about it earlier, but that's the term that you're going to be hearing more of. Zero click searches means that people will ask AI for whatever their query is, and AI will give them the feedback, give them the answer, never going to your website. Your website, it needs to exist, but it's not being, that's not the end result, right? So traffic will drop for everyone because of this. And the goal is to make sure that AI understands what you offer, because if AI can't understand what you offer, then no one's going to find you anyway.
Yeah, it's almost like these AI tools are mining what's out there for the right answers for everyone, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And might be jumping the gun a little bit, but this is, we just talked about this a little bit prior. What blogs used to be for SEO is what podcasts are going to be, right? So, so think about that if you're a business owner, and I just spit everywhere. You're welcome.
Don't worry, we sanitize these things in between guests.
Dang it. So think about podcasting, audio and visual, as blogs.
Yeah.
It's, it's kind of a pivot of what blogging used to be. Blogs are still important because SEO still exists, but tying them all together, putting out, like we said earlier, unified content that says the same thing. There are tools that convert your blog into a podcast.
Right.
And it does not take you sitting down and doing it.
Right.
You can automate podcast for this. So all of those things are things that we do, and I'm sure a bunch of other teams and agencies. I hate that word because we're not really an agency, but a lot of people will start leaning into that. But we are in the very, very, very forefront. We're in the tip of the sphere of all that stuff. So that's why our partnership made so much sense to us and to you guys.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So when we say, like, I know we touched on this a little bit before, but like when we say AI search optimized content, what specifically does this change in how businesses create content?
So the clarity. right? So I've got a list here, and I want to make sure I don't miss anything because this is super important. And I don't think that a lot of business owners, I mean, maybe small business owners are doing their own SEO and all that stuff. But for the most part, SEO firms and agencies will need to look into this, and this will make sense to them. But AI optimized content, it actually means clear H2s and H3s, the schema markup being completely clear, and teaching the AI in a very first grade level exactly what the business does, semantic linking, and then consistency across platforms.
Yeah.
So it's about creating a content ecosystem where a blog post leads to a podcast, which leads to social snippet, which leads to the AI figuring it out. So a lot of the tools that we're developing at TaptiCode will allow you to write a blog post that will instantly automate it in an automated fashion, create a podcast. Obviously, you need a video podcast, which is why you guys come into play. And then break that into snippets to be pushed out on your social media content. And then that's how the AI finds you. Because if you haven't heard of Perplexity yet, by God, please do. They had a Super Bowl commercial last year. So if you haven't heard about it, Perplexity is amazing. I have an affiliate code that I can't say verbally because it's a bunch of X's and O's and numbers and stuff. But go check out Perplexity.
We can put it in the show notes.
Okay, sweet. Go download Perplexity. They have an amazing app. They do amazing things. They are updating very quickly. That will replace Google. I'm sure Google will probably just acquire them because that's what those big boys do.
Right.
But you'll see, just do a quick search, and you'll see that it will pull from dozens of sources. And then it will link out to those sources if you want to do a deeper dive. And then not only that, it will give you 4 to 5 next questions that the AI said, okay, if they're searching for this, they might also want to search for this. And it continues the conversation. And where you start with, I'm looking for a new pair of boots in Atlanta, it can take you down a rabbit hole of what's in fashion for men, what size. Do you have, like, I have wide feet, so do they have special sizing? And it will take you down and almost lead you to the perfect answer.
Yeah. And
in order for your company to show up in that, you have to make sure you have all the T's crossed and the I's dotted.
Right.
So
Right.
You have to be findable and easily understandable.
Yeah. And most small businesses, their content is not.
Yeah.
Not at all.
They think if it's done, it's good enough.
If it's done, it's good enough. If it's out there, it's good enough.
Right.
And
we need a post today. Yeah.
Yeah. And if your content isn't structured like this now, it's just not going to show up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you want to test and see if your business is AI friendly, go to Perplexity and put in a search that your clients or customers or prospects would put in trying to find you. And if you don't show up, you're not showing up.
Right. Now, I would kind of want to talk about some common concerns that we've heard from clients. One potential client asked, like, what does this mean? This sounds expensive. Like, is this only, like, I'm just a small business. Like, how much is this going to cost me to do now?
Well, how much is it going to cost you to not do it? Just going to go ahead and put that out there.
There it is.
The good thing about software, and if you're not everyone wants to learn this stuff, right? Like, I know how to get a 6-pack, I know how to get abs. I just don't really feel like, I like pasta.
I just don't really want. I just
don't
really want them.
I just don't want it. And so many people are that way about AI. A new tech. I just learned how to use Twitter.
Yeah.
It's not called Twitter anymore.
Yeah. It's not.
Right. So they're still huge on MySpace, but that doesn't really help.
Right.
So first thing I would address is it's a must do for your business. If you're a learner and you understand you're a little bit savvy, you can go in and learn it. I would say just work with some tools. Start getting an idea of how to incorporate it. The number one thing I would say to small business owners that want to do it themselves is don't treat it like a tool, treat it like a collaborator.
Mhm.
right? You are working with, and I'm not joking, the smartest entity in the planet that has access to the highest level of information and data and all of it. So treat it as such. And if you don't understand how to use it, ask it how to use it.
Yeah.
Right? Say, hey, ChatGPT, I'm trying to do, I'm trying to do this. Help me guide you. What's a good prompt for me to use to find the best results? So if you're a self-starter and a self-learner, it will cost you as much as the subscription fees, which is basically $20 a month,
Right.
right? Or you can do the free version and it costs you zero.
Right.
It costs you time. But I'm a big proponent of saying a wise businessman spends money to save time, whereas a
Right.
poor businessman spends time to save money.
Right.
Obviously, we've got budgets, so take that with a grain of salt. But for someone like us, yes, we do have, we have a price tag associated with us, and we're expensive,
Yeah.
but we're worth it,
Right.
So I would say if you're a self-starter, go in, learn it. It can be literally as little as under $100 a month to do this stuff. You just have to understand how to use it. It also evolves very quickly, so you got to stay on top of it. So the time cost of that would be great. The financial cost, not so much.
Yeah.
Did that answer your question?
It does. I think, the whole what's the cost to not do it. I had clients saying that they just didn't believe this internet thing was going to last and it was just a fad. And so like,
Yeah.
so don't get like that with this.
Right.
Right.
Same with social media.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Exactly.
The problem is once you be like, oh, God, this isn't a trend anymore, then you're behind.
Right.
And then you can't catch up.
You're already behind. Right. Right.
So this is the early warning system. We are sending out notices to your phone at 3:30 in the morning to start paying attention now, because it's going to have ramifications that ripple. And I'm really worried about the kids that are in college and high school right now, because I feel like a lot of those entry-level jobs are going to be replaced.
Yeah.
And I don't like it as much as anyone else does, but business is business.
But it is what it is.
And bottom lines are bottom lines. And if you can build an AI agent to execute on your research for $20 a month, as opposed to hiring someone and giving them insurance and all that stuff, from a business,
what's going to be done.
It's what's going to be done. So the next few years, when it comes to the new college grads going after white collar jobs in an entry level position, I'm worried about that and what that looks like. Maybe we should put together a learning course for recent college grads, because there's an opportunity there for them. Sorry, off topic, but there's an opportunity there for college grads to learn AI. They can learn the AI. We can work with them, or they can learn the marketing, and then very quickly leapfrog the people that have been doing it for 20 plus years, because they have access to this tool, know how to use this tool. Oh, and by the way, they have access to all the knowledge too.
Right.
Right. So we'll see how it evolves. I do think, ChatGPT 5 should be coming out this month, if not next month.
Yeah.
That's going to change the game again.
Right.
So as it evolves, anyone that says they know what's going to happen, they're a liar. So I'm not going to sit here and say that I know what's going to happen, but we can set ourselves up appropriately, and so can small business owners, to be ready for what comes.
Yeah.
And be adaptable.
Yeah.
And be open to it.
Yeah. So on that note, what are the things that you think what are a couple things that you think a small business can do to set themselves up to be ready now? What are some actionable steps?
Actionable steps would be to get comfortable with the tools. These companies understand that the learning curve is going to be pretty steep, so they are offering a ton of free courses, free software that OpenAI, which is the parent company of ChatGPT, Microsoft, Google, there are a lot of companies that put out free training for these things, because they know that they're not going to have a viable business in a year or two if no one wants to learn how to use it, right? So they are putting things out. I don't know if you do Google alerts, but set your Google alerts for that kind of stuff. I would subscribe to some AI periodicals. There are some amazing podcasts out there that do weekly updates on the new AI stuff, which is how I stay in touch. ChatGPT has a task feature,
Mm-hmm.
which you can go in and I get daily updates about massive AI updates that I might have missed,
Mm-hmm.
just so that I can, I want to be able to speak to everything. So every morning in my inbox, I get the top 5 things that happened in AI yesterday. And that's something you can set up through ChatGPT. If you don't know how to do it, what do? Ask ChatGPT. How do I set up task with you so that I want to get, daily summaries of what happened in my industry,
Yeah.
and how people in my industry are using AI. It can do that. If you want to do it weekly, do it weekly. But the easiest thing to do is to ask ChatGPT how to use it.
Right.
Because it's its own best tutor.
Right.
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 So
I love it.
that's what I would say. I would say just familiarize yourself with the tools, learn how to work with them. I keep saying tools, but again, I'm going to emphasize that in your brain, you should position it as an assistant, as a collaborator.
Yeah.
It's going to change a lot of jobs, but it's also going to create a lot of jobs.
Right.
So
Right.
I think with like automations and tying tools together, that's the kind of stuff where you set it, you test it, and then you forget it. Obviously, you go through every now and again and make sure everything's working. But with LLMs and any sort of like a ChatGPT or strategic AI, you always got to double check the work. There's a term called one-shotting, which you probably know about, but that's the lazy part, right? So one-shot means you do your first prompt, whatever comes out, copy, paste, you're done. Another term is coming out called slop, which AI slop is a thing that you'll start to see. LinkedIn is the big place for it, but you'll start to see it in more social media content where this is slop. This is clearly just a copy and paste it.
Yeah.
And human in the loop is where we Taptico. That's why we're here, is because having a human in the loop, which is what you're just referring to, is having a human kind of check it, right? So it's almost like having a football coach and AI agents and your AI tools and your LLMs and all that stuff for the football players, but you're making sure that they're doing their job.
Right.
You have the playbook. This is what we need to do on this play. Okay, the left tackle didn't do the right thing. Coach him up.
Right.
So having a human in the loop to maintain quality, because without good quality, it's going to die anyway. So I would always thoroughly recommend that the human stays in the loop as much as possible.
Great.
Yeah.
Love it. Let's talk about what you got coming up next at Taptico.
Yeah. So fired up about our podcast.
I know.
This is great.
I'm excited about it.
So myself, Dave, and Tribble, we will be coming in here regularly to do some podcasting, and through that, Dave is he's my boy. I love him. He's my brother, but he is not tech savvy. He is actually one of the many reasons why I want to bring him in is because he isn't tech savvy. So he really is the end user. So he's kind of our guinea pig when it comes to communicating how to teach these things.
Yeah.
So what we're going to be doing is this podcast. It's not named yet, but Dave will be interviewing Tribble and I, probably alternating on different tools and how to use them.
Cool.
So he'll be coming from a very approachable, probably the same way 99.9% of the world will be approaching AI with the same questions, and we're going to be walking him through that and answering those questions. Tribble will be focused more on the content creation, so the imagery, the video, the 11 labs, the voice stuff, all of those things. Whereas I'll be coming more from the strategic side with Claude's Groks, the anything else, any of the tools from an operational standpoint that would make sense for small business owners. And we'll be doing some live demos for the video podcast, all that kind of
Love
stuff. And because things change so quickly, we're going to do these pretty rapidly and getting them out. But also, we want to be searchable. So all the stuff we just talked about, we're doing that for our own search engine optimization, which, answer engine optimization. So
what do you think we're doing here?
Exactly. Right. We're practicing what we preach.
We got to practice what we preach. Yeah. And then, exactly.
One thing that I will say is I'm pretty fired up about. I use a tool to record all of our meetings, live and virtual, called Fireflies. Mm-hmm. And fireflies.ai, it records everything. After the meeting, you can have it send out a summary, a full transcript, and action items based on the speaker. So it's a full written copy of everything you just talked about, so you can remain in the meeting and in the task tension is what we call it, where you're like, yeah, and then we can do this and do this without having to stop and take notes.
Oh,
But then you can tie
I wish
it,
that was around in my corporate career.
right? It's insane. But then you can tie it into Google Docs or
Yeah.
your Slack, and it will send those automatically send those into your internal task management platforms. And then you can create Asana tasks. So it assigns the Asana tasks to the people
I like it.
and this is all through
Uh-huh.
a meeting recording, which is phenomenal. So
Yeah.
there are a lot of really cool tools that will make life a lot easier for
Yeah.
people.
That's
But
super cool.
not just life easier, but also more productive and better follow through and execution. So
Yeah. Yeah.
really fired up about that.
Yeah.
So we'll probably be putting together some of those workflows and putting those out there on our socials as kind of a free and easy way to level up your business if you can't quite afford us just yet.
Awesome. All right. So for businesses listening who want to, learn more, how do they get in touch with you?
So our website is tapticode.co, taptico.co. And you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok. We're just starting up the TikTok. Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. We're on all the spots. We will be putting out a lot more content. We're just now getting rolling. So a lot of the content's going to be helpful for small business owners that want to learn on their own. Or if you want to touch base with us, we can run an audit on your business right now, an AI audit. You can hit me up directly, Nick at taptico.co or Dave at taptico.co. If you want to have a quick call, we can discuss and see if we're good fits.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming in and hanging out with us.
Thanks
this
for having
morning.
me. This has been great. I can do more if you want, but directly in the camera, so it's even better. Rubber baby boogie bumpers. You gotta loosen your face before you do these things. Vocal, you need unique, unite New
I bet
York.
but that's good for like lymphatic drainage too.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds gross.